What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. Now, as you can see, no face cam today. I thought I'd change it up a bit. Anyway, with that being said, let's get into some more Entitled Parent stories. Entitled Aunt and Uncle. How dare you make your daughter your successor? Our son deserves that job. My boyfriend's father recently announced that he plans to retire in a few months and hand over the reins of his company to his right hand, i.e. his daughter and my boyfriend's sister, Shania. Name changed. Hang on, actually that must be Shania. She has been working with him for over a decade and has played a pivotal role in growing the company. She's an astute business person and everyone agrees that she is the ideal candidate for the job. Everyone except my boyfriend's paternal uncle, Entitled Uncle. To know more about him and his problematic views on gender roles, go to my post history and sort by top, oh god, and his wife, Entitled Aunt. When they heard about this, they were horrified. How dare his brother put a woman in charge of his business? How could they overlook their son, my boyfriend's cousin, who was obviously more qualified for the job, by virtue of having a penis? They didn't say it in so many words, but this is pretty much the gist of it. The uncle's son was denied a job at the company years ago on account of his erratic behavior and general buttholery. Back then, the uncle insisted that his son should just be handed a cushy job at the company, simply because he was family. Now, the uncle had the gall to expect his brother to make him in charge of the company when he steps down. His reasoning is that only a man should inherit the family business and that it just wasn't a woman's place. The uncle actually seemed way more upset about his niece getting the job than he was about his son not getting it. He and his wife kept repeating the same nonsense about how it was a huge mistake to put a woman in charge when male members of the family were available. My boyfriend's dad tried to explain to them why Shania was suitable for the job and the entitled uncle and entitled aunt's son wasn't. However, it's notoriously difficult to reason with bigoted idiot heads. They refused to listen and actually suggested that my boyfriend's dad take their son under his wing and teach him. Because he's so smart and he can learn really fast. He'll run the company way better than Shania, you'll see. Also, since your son, i.e. my boyfriend, isn't man enough to be your heir, you should give our son a chance. They kept making ridiculous arguments like, what about when she gets married? She'll change her surname. My boyfriend's dad tried to explain to them that whether she gets married and changes her surname or not is entirely her decision. And if she does, how on earth would it affect her business acumen and leadership skills? When my boyfriend's dad and sister shut them down, they changed tactics. Yesterday evening, my boyfriend received a call from his aunt. She went on an insane rant about how my boyfriend's dad didn't know what he was doing. She then tried to provoke my boyfriend. She told him since he was the son, it was his natural right to succeed his father and he shouldn't let his sister rob him of it. My boyfriend told her to never dial his number again and hung up. These buttholes knew very well that my boyfriend has never been interested in his dad's business. But I guess since their son wasn't getting to run the company, they decided to provoke a feud between my boyfriend and his sister, because they're the kind of sad, bitter little idiots who just cannot see other people happy. Wow, your entitled uncle and entitled aunt's mindset is just so negative and backwards. I can't believe that people still think that it's males and always males and it has to be a male to be the breadwinner of the family. That's just not how it works. Like, why do people like this think that girls are just domesticated? What is with that? I guess unfortunately you can choose your friends but you can't choose your family, but then again you can block them and disown them and just go and live far away. Now for our second story, entitled parents let kids steal and eat my emergency candy stash, type 1 diabetic. I'm a family law mediator and work at the downtown courthouse. There's no food or drink allowed and the closest store is about a mile away. Despite this, my supervisors allow me to have my own stash of candy in my office in case of emergency. I'm type 1 diabetic and sometimes I need a bit of sugar. It's just a small Ziploc bag with M&Ms. Anyway, yesterday morning I was mediating a couple over custody of their twin 8-year-old boys. They all showed up in pajamas, sweats, and the parents couldn't be bothered to control their children. The twins were running around the table, standing on the chairs and spinning in them, smearing their hands on the windows, just being disruptive. At one point they started tugging at their mum and begging for something to eat. It had only been 30 minutes. The entitled mum then said to me, "Where's your vending machine?" "We don't have one of those, sorry." "Well, why not?" "Food isn't allowed in the building, mom, but our session is almost over." Then the first kid said, "She's lying, mum, I saw food in the candy drawer." The second kid lit up when he heard this, ran towards me, knocking over our documents from the table and pushing my arm out of the way, and opened my candy drawer. It wasn't a candy drawer, by the way, it was just the drawer I kept my stationery supplies and my M&Ms in. I stood up in between the kid and the drawer as he rummaged through it. Completely irritated at this point, I closed the drawer and asked the parents if they wanted to reschedule. The entitled dad then said, "You almost slammed my boy's hand over some candy." That was a gross over-exaggeration, of course. I told them I needed that candy because of my diabetes, to which the entitled mum gave me an incredibly dirty look. If you've got diabetes, you don't need the candy? Just let them have some for Christ's sake. Oh my goodness, how uneducated can you be? There's 2 types of diabetes. I bet this woman just thinks that obesity is the sole reason why people become diabetic. I'm type 1 diabetic. I'm sorry, but we're going to need to reschedule. The entitled dad started arguing with his wife about how she always ruins everything, and the entitled mum responded by doubling down on her stance. She's wanting to kick us out because sugar is like drugs to diabetics. The entitled dad and entitled mum continued to argue, and as I went to call in for security, the first kid stuck his foot out and tried to trip me. Luckily, I didn't fall, but he distracted me just enough for the second kid to pull open the drawer and take the bag. The twins started running around, tossing the M&Ms at each other, trying to catch it in their mouths, while the entitled parents continued to yell at each other. I called security, which stopped the entitled parents arguing. Are you seriously calling security over candy? I think that was the point I lost all professionalism. I needed that in case my blood sugar got too low. Now look, it's all over my carpet and your kid's hands. Security came up and the twins tried to bolt out of the room, unsuccessfully. The entitled dad and security nearly got into a fight before being forced to leave. I took my break early and got another bag of M&Ms. Oh wow, that whole family sounds completely toxic. That's just not cool at all. I assume it must be so scary for diabetic people when they don't have their emergency supplies with them. I've seen a couple of diabetic episodes before and it's scary stuff, that's for sure. I'm sure you guys all know. I think with these guys, they just need a babysitter and a parenting class. The problem is that those parents were probably raised in a similarly hectic and disgraceful manner themselves, so at this point they probably don't even know that they're doing anything wrong with their kids. I don't really know the best way to make people like this get better, but something really needs to be done. Moving on to our final story, Karen tries to steal supplies from my cart, gets caught by several bystanders and escorted out of the store by security. So a bit of backstory, I live in a decent sized suburban area about 45 minutes north of Los Angeles, and this is not the first time I've run into an entitled parent. I was shopping for supplies because I thought it would be a good idea to get some toilet paper, canned goods and other food and stuff while it's still on the shelves. I saw pics and videos of empty Walmart and Costco shelves. And yeah guys, those of you that follow me on Twitter, you'll know exactly why there aren't that many toilet rolls around in shops anymore. It's because of people like this. These guys in Canada are reselling wipes online for around $90 bought from Costco's. I mean, come on. By the way, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you might as well go and follow me over there. It's on screen right now. Now, there's actually a limit to how many packs of toilet paper a single customer is allowed to buy at a time. That's sensible. At this store, the limit was 6 packs until today when it went down to 4 per customer at a time. I picked up some canned fruits, canned beans, canned soup, canned chili, you name it, I grabbed it. Because I didn't want not to be able to buy any of this because everyone else got to it first. Yeah, that is the problem. Everyone just thinks to themselves, if I don't get it now, then someone else will get it, when it doesn't really work like that. Now, after I grabbed the canned goods, I picked up a few other things and headed to the toilet paper aisle. As soon as I put about 4 or 5 packs of toilet paper in my cart, there were about 12 left on the shelf when I was done, I hear a loud ahem. Dang it, I knew it. A wild Karen appears behind me with her poor innocent kid, who looked to be about a year or 2 younger than me. I'm 16 for reference in tow. Excuse me? Yes, how may I help? She had the audacity to cut me off. There were 3 other people in the aisle. Can you give me your packs of toilet paper rolls? I was really confused at this point because there was still some on the shelf. Oh, why? There's still some on the shelf? She cut me off again. I know, but I don't want to reach up on a dirty shelf to get my toilet paper. And you already have enough stuff anyways. Why do you even need it? Her innocent kid then said to her, Mum, can you please stop? I can just grab some. She cuts off her kid because apparently he wasn't supposed to intervene. No, we will get our toilet paper from this young man, she points at me, and that's the end of it. Just then, bystander 1 walked by and said, if you even dare, I'll have security escort you out. Grab your own toilet paper, you female dog. Bystander 2 and another bystander 3 blocked the aisle in case she tried to run. And I forgot to mention earlier, these people recognize me because I always run into them across town and at this store occasionally. The entitled mum just huffs angrily and has her kid grab 6 packs of toilet paper. And then, when he drops them accidentally, I offer to help him pick them up. And when I do, Karen makes her move. Apparently, she wasn't listening to the first bystander and tried to take my toilet paper and a few cans of food. The other bystanders were still there blocking the aisle, and the first bystander saw saw it happen. I heard a commotion behind me when the entitled kid and I were done picking up the toilet paper, and I see the entitled mum screaming at the bystanders, telling them to let her through because she has places to be and things to do. Yeah, who cares? The first bystander calls for security and they drag the entitled mum out while she still has my supplies. They come back with my supplies, I pay, and then I leave. But not before thanking the bystanders who stood up for me when I was distracted, and making sure the innocent kid was alright, because when I got out of the store, he looked like he just got screamed at. Let's just say someone in the parking lot was fighting with Karen when I left. Oh man, I can already see it now. This virus is going to bring a lot of entitled parent stories. I'm not really sure morally if I want to continue dealing with stories that involve the virus in any way, but then again, I'm not really sure how they're going to be avoided. You know, it's in the news every day, people are constantly talking about it, it's going to be around for a very long time, at least a few months. I don't know, maybe we should just continue on and just see what happens. Actually guys, comment down below, how do you feel about me reading stories out like this? I'm not sure about the ethics of it, let me know. Anyway guys, that is going to do it for this episode. Remember, vote on the poll if you haven't done already. Do you want face cam or not? Let me know. Now, one thing I know that you all want to do immediately right now is make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you're not already, what are you doing? You're potentially missing out on daily videos that you'll never get notified for. So on top of that, you might as well hit the notification bell as well. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video.